All right, let's dive in. Welcome to the deep dive, where we take a look at all this stuff. This stuff that's going on in the world. You send it in to us.
Lots of stuff.
Big world out there.
And we do a deep dive.
That's right.
Into it.
That's right.
So this time, we're looking at a bunch of stuff you sent us, but a lot of it has to do with,
big players this time.
Yeah, big players like Apple and AMD and Alphabet. Oh, my.
Big A's.
And you sent us, one of the things you sent us.
Yeah, one of the things.
Was this Bloomberg Technology segment transcript.
Bloomberg, always good stuff.
Yeah.
Always good stuff.
So let's jump right in to this Bloomberg segment. It looks like we're starting off with Apple.
Okay.
And there's a potential antitrust probe by China into Apple's App Store practices.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And, the thing that kind of caught my eye was the timing of this. Right in the middle of all this.
Oh, I see what you mean.
U.S.-China trade tension stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it definitely makes you wonder if there's something more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, obviously these concerns about Apple taking a 30% cut of app revenue and having all this control over payment systems. I mean, that's
not new.
No, not at all.
Right.
But the fact that China's deciding to investigate now definitely suggests that maybe there's something else going on.
Right.
I think it's bigger than just app revenue here.
Right.
I think we're talking about, global power dynamics.
Yeah, it kind of makes you think about how much leverage a country like China
might have over these tech giants.
For sure. And remember, Apple's not alone in this.
Oh, right.
The segment also mentioned investigations into Google and Nvidia by China as well. So
it's kind of a trend.
Yeah, it's a pattern. It seems like China's really trying to assert its authority in the tech sphere. And I think for Apple, even if this probe doesn't lead to massive fines or anything like that, I mean, just the disruption to their operations in China could be significant.
Right.
A real blow.
Okay, so we've got Apple potentially
in the hot seat.
Yeah. Facing off against China.
Okay.
Now let's shift gears to Alphabet.
All right.
Their recent earnings report shows some interesting stuff.
Definitely.
I mean, on the one hand, they're pouring billions of dollars,
into AI and data centers. On the other hand, their cloud business growth is slower than expected.
Oh, interesting.
And investors are getting,
a little antsy. Yeah, that's the dilemma.
Yeah.
Alphabet is clearly betting big on AI, but the payoff isn't immediate.
Right.
And that's what's making investors nervous. They're seeing competitors like Microsoft making these big strides in the AI space, and they want to know, is Alphabet going to be able to maintain its dominance?
Right.
Can they keep up?
Well, and speaking of competition, the segment talked about this.
Okay.
This Chinese company, DeepSeek.
Oh yeah, DeepSeek.
And they're making these claims about
our bold claim
developing these incredibly efficient
AI models.
Right. And some analysts are even suggesting that it could be.
Yeah, like a major disruption.
A major disruptor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your take on all that?
Well, DeepSeek's claims are definitely intriguing. There's no doubt about that.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Even if DeepSeek's technology lives up to the hype, it doesn't necessarily spell doom for companies like Alphabet.
Okay.
I think people need to remember that AI isn't a monolithic entity.
Right.
There are all sorts of different types of AI.
Okay.
Each one suited to different tasks.
So you're saying there's room for multiple players in the AI space.
Yeah. It's more of a multifaceted landscape than a winner-take-all scenario.
Okay, so DeepSeek might excel at certain types of AI.
But companies like Google, with their massive data reserves,
huge mountains of data,
and these established platforms, they'll continue to
I think so,
dominate in other areas.
Yeah, it's not a zero-sum game.
But how do you think AI will actually impact Google's core businesses?
Yeah,
like search and YouTube.
That's the billion-dollar question.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone really has a definitive answer yet.
Right.
But the potential is enormous.
Yeah.
Imagine a search engine.
Okay.
That really understands your intent, not just your keywords.
Right.
And delivers these hyper-personalized results. Right. Or YouTube.
Right.
That suggests videos that are just so perfectly aligned with your interest that you never want to leave. Yeah, you just keep watching.
Right.
It's that level of personalization and engagement.
All right, so we've talked about Apple.
Okay.
And we've talked about Alphabet. Now let's move on to AMD.
Right. AMD
and what are they up to?
Yeah, their recent earnings outlook wasn't exactly
what investors were hoping for.
Yeah, the investors were not thrilled.
No.
Particularly when it comes to their AI data center. Business growth projections.
Right. The market's definitely reacted to that one.
Yeah. While they've made significant gains in other areas like...
Yeah, I mean, they've been taking market share from Intel.
At Intel's market share?
Yeah.
Investors seem laser focused
on
AI right now.
Everybody's obsessed with AI right now.
And AMD's projections didn't quite meet.
Those sky-high expectations.
Yeah.
Now, the segment did mention that the slower than anticipated rollout of AMD's new AI chip played a role in the softer guidance. What's the story there?
Well, it seems like the primary issue was production capacity.
Okay.
So, demand for this new AI chip is high.
Okay.
But they just haven't been able to ramp up production.
So they're kind of missing out.
Yeah, and that's led to some missed opportunities in the short term.
Right. Okay.
It's important to remember that this is a temporary setback.
Okay.
The long-term outlook for AMD in the AI market remains positive.
Okay.
They've got
product. Right.
And as production catches up, they should be well-positioned to capitalize on that growing demand.
It's a good reminder that the stock market often reacts
for sure.
to short-term news.
Short-term thinking.
Without always grasping the bigger picture.
Wall Street's favorite pastime.
Right.
And speaking of the bigger picture, it's interesting to consider how AMD's strategy might differ from Nvidia's.
Okay.
Especially with these potential disruptors like DeepSeek.
Yeah, that's an interesting angle.
Yeah, well,
tell me more.
Nvidia's primary focus has been on developing these high-performance chips for training AI models.
Okay.
AMD, on the other hand,
has
been putting more emphasis on chips designed for inference. Which is the process of actually using those trained models to make predictions or decisions. So it's a different focus. And I think that could play a significant role in how these companies fare in this evolving AI landscape.
So if DeepSeek's efficient AI models become the standard, a company like AMD with their focus on inference might be better positioned.
They could be
to capitalize on that shift.
Yeah, if the industry moves towards smaller, more efficient models, that can be deployed on a wider range of devices. AMD's expertise in inference could give them a real competitive advantage. It's all about adapting to the changing demands of the market.
All right, so we've covered some of the big
song players.
Yeah, headline grabbers here.
Headliners.
Apple, Alphabet, AMD. But this Bloomberg segment was packed with other
tidbits.
Yeah, interesting tidbits.
About the tech industry.
About the tech industry,
Always something going on.
It seems like there's never a
dull moment.
Dull moment.
Yeah.
So give us a...
So what else caught your eye?
Yeah, a sneak peek.
Well,
what else caught your attention?
Well, for one, Electronic Arts had to cut their full year revenue outlook.
Okay.
It seems even established franchises like their soccer games are struggling. To maintain growth.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, especially when you're a company that relies so heavily on that consistent revenue. From those
big franchises.
Yeah, it just shows how hard it is to stay ahead of the curve in an industry that's constantly evolving. You know, I mean, consumer preferences change. New technologies emerge. And what was once a sure bet can quickly become
like a
liability.
And
then you've got Uber.
Oh, right. Uber.
Facing concerns about slowing
user growth.
With the rise of self-driving car services. Like Waymo.
That's got to have investors.
Yeah. A little nervous. Yeah.
But then there's Disney.
Oh, yeah, Disney.
They seem to be crushing it.
In the streaming game.
They are doing well.
Yeah, even after those recent price hikes.
Price hikes haven't slowed them down.
Yeah, their streaming business is
definitely a bright spot.
Yeah.
Driven by strong content and a smart pricing strategy.
Yeah.
But, questions remain about the future of their linear TV business.
Right. In a world that's increasingly embracing.
Right. Exactly.
Streaming. Yeah. It's almost like a
Tale of Two Disneys.
Yeah.
And then finally we have Workday. The software company announcing layoffs. While simultaneously emphasizing their focus on hiring in areas like AI.
So kind of a mixed message there.
Kind of a little bit of a mixed message.
It really speaks to the uneven impact
of
technological change.
Some sectors are thriving, others are contracting. Yeah. Even within
the same company. Yeah, it's a perfect example of how these trends we're discussing aren't just abstract concepts. They have real world
consequences. Right. For businesses and
individuals.
Alike.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground.
Lots of ground.
In this first part
of our deep dive.
Right.
It's clear that the tech industry
moving industry
is in a
strange state of
flux.
Constant flux.
Yeah.
Influenced by everything from geopolitical tensions to the rapid
advancement of technology like AI.
Yep.
But I'm curious, what does all of this mean?
Yeah, that's
not the average person.
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are these trends going to impact our lives?
Years to come.
Yeah. That's the question we'll be tackling in the next part of our deep dive.
Looking forward to it. So stay tuned. For part 2.
All right. Welcome back to our deep dive.
Into the world of tech.
Where things move fast.
Yeah, lightning speed.
We've covered a lot.
Apple's potential showdown with China.
Alphabet's massive AI investments.
AMD's production hiccups.
Right, but now I'm curious, what are the bigger takeaways here?
Yeah, what are the
overarching trends?
Yeah, the big...
What are we seeing?
Yeah, what are we seeing
in the tech landscape?
In the tech landscape as a whole.
Well, one theme that's impossible to miss is this growing interconnectedness of technology, geopolitics, and finance.
Yeah, these forces.
Yeah, they're constantly...
They're all kind of intertwined.
Influencing each other.
Yeah.
Shaping each other.
Yeah, and we see it.
We see it with China's strategic moves in tech.
Right.
The U.S.'s response. And how all of that impacts companies like AMD struggling to meet demand for their chips.
It's like this intricate web.
It is.
We're a tug.
We're one little tug.
Yeah, one
strand can send ripples through the entire system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this interconnectedness.
Right.
It's only going to intensify.
Right.
The decisions the governments make, the innovations that come out of
the research lab, the flow of capital,
from
investors. Yeah, all of these factors are shaping the future of tech,
and ultimately
our future as well. So we've got this
convergence
of forces.
Okay. What else is on your radar?
Another major trend is the rise of artificial intelligence.
Of AI, yeah.
Which is quickly becoming this
foundational
technology, yeah.
Like electricity.
Like electricity or the internet.
Or the internet.
We talked about how it's impacting
companies like
Alphabet.
Alphabet and AMD, but its influence is far broader.
Yeah.
It has the potential to transform every industry imaginable.
It feels like
It does, doesn't it?
On the verge of a new era where AI
is just going to
fundamentally change.
Yeah, fundamentally change how we
live.
How we live and work. Absolutely. And while this transformation holds incredible promise, it also raises some
big questions.
Big questions, yeah.
About job displacement.
Potential for bias. In
algorithms, data privacy.
Even the very nature of intelligence itself.
Yeah, those are some
heavy topics. Yeah, it's easy to get
It is
caught up in the excitement.
An excitement of all this new technology.
But it's crucial.
Yeah, we have to
have these conversations.
These conversations about
the potential downsides.
Yeah, the downsides.
Well, so we've got this
convergence of forces.
The
rise of AI.
And
I think there's another trend we need to talk about. The increasing power.
Oh yeah.
Of
these tech giants.
Yeah.
Companies like Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft,
Amazon.
They're not just businesses anymore. They're shaping the global economy,
Influencing politics. Even impacting our
social lives. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
And there's this growing debate about
there is,
about how to
regulate them.
How
to balance innovation.
How to balance
with consumer protection.
Yeah, innovation with consumer protection.
And how to ensure
that
their power is used responsibly.
Yeah.
It's a tough balancing
act.
Yeah, we want to encourage innovation. But not at the expense of
not at the expense of
our privacy.
Our democracy.
Our well-being.
Yeah, and this debate is likely to
it's only going to
intensify as these
companies
continue to grow. Expand their reach.
And we're seeing
a growing awareness
of the potential downside
of unchecked
tech power.
Yeah. From data breaches
and privacy violations
to the spread of misinformation.
To the erosion of trust.
And the erosion of
in our institutions.
Of trust in our institutions.
It is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. But amidst all of this, there's another trend.
Okay, what's that?
I find really exciting.
What's that?
The rise of what I call tech for good.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we're seeing
more and more people using technology to address
to actually
some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Other world problems.
Yeah, from climate change.
To
poverty.
Poverty. To healthcare.
It is inspiring.
To see
the ingenuity and the passion of individuals and organizations who are harnessing
the power
of technology
to make a positive impact, whether it's developing, whether it's
renewable energy, platforms for financial inclusion, or using AI to accelerate scientific discovery. There's this growing movement towards using tech for good.
It gives me hope.
It does. It shows that.
Yeah.
Even in the face of
even with all these
complex challenges. The human desire to make the world a better place. Is still a powerful driving force.
Still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that spirit
of innovation and collaboration. Was ultimately what drives
progress. It's what pushes us to
explore new frontiers.
To challenge assumptions and to find
creative solutions
to the problems we face.
But it's not just about
It's not always about the big world-changing innovations. Sometimes it's
the smaller
everyday applications of technology can have a profound impact
on our lives. Think about how technology connects us
with loved ones.
How it makes
information
more accessible. And empowers individuals to
learn
to
create,
to share their voices.
With
the world.
Right. So while we need to be
mindful
of the
potential risks.
And challenges.
It's also important to
celebrate the opportunities. That technology presents. Yeah.
So we've talked about these. We've talked about
big picture trends.
These big picture trends.
But now I want to bring it back.
Bring it back down to our listeners. Yeah. What does all this mean?
What does all this mean for
them?
The everyday person.
For the everyday person navigating this.
Rapidly changing
world. Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And one that I think deserves careful consideration.
Okay, so what advice would you give?
Well, first and foremost,
I
would encourage our listeners to embrace a mindset of continuous learning. Yeah, the tech industry is in constant flux.
Right. The only constant
is change. Right. And in the tech world.
Yeah, in the tech world.
That change is happening.
It's happening fast.
At an exponential rate.
Yeah.
So staying informed about the latest developments. That's crucial. So how do we do that?
Well, whether it's reading industry publications, attending conferences, or simply
following
thought leaders on social media.
Just prioritize staying curious.
Yeah.
Engage with the world of technology. Continuous learning. What else?
It's also crucial to develop a critical eye.
Yeah.
When it comes to information. About technology,
because we are
bombarded with
headlines,
the marketing messages,
tons
conflicting opinions
about
all the latest
gadgets
and breakthroughs. And learning to
we have to be able to
separate
hype from reality.
The hype from reality
is essential. For making informed decisions. About how you engage with technology. Yeah. It's easy to get.
It is swept up.
It's swept up in the excitement.
Of a shiny new gadget. Or the promise of
a
revolutionary
app. Yeah.
But it's so important
to ask those
critical questions.
Critical questions like, what problem is this technology solving?
Yeah, what problem?
Or is it?
What are the
potential risks?
What are the potential risks?
Is this something that's actually going to...
Yeah, is this really going to...
Enhance my life?
Or is it...
just another...
distraction?
Yeah, those are
excellent questions.
It's
all about being
mindful.
Mindful and intentional.
In
our relationship.
In your relationship with technology.
Yeah. Making choices that align with our values.
Align with your values.
And priorities. Okay, so continuous learning. Critical thinking. These are great foundational skills. What about the practical implications?
Yeah, what about the rubber meets the road kind of stuff?
Yeah, how might these trends actually impact...
Yeah. How does it affect our listeners' lives?
In a tangible way.
Well, one thing's for sure.
Yeah.
AI is going to play increasingly prominent role in our everyday lives.
Yeah.
From personalized recommendations
on
streaming services to the algorithms that
curate
our social media feeds. AI is already shaping our
digital
experiences.
Yeah, and as these
technologies advance,
we can expect to see even more sophisticated and personalized applications in areas like healthcare,
finance,
education, even transportation.
It's really
mind-boggling to think about.
Mind-boggling to think about all the ways.
Yeah, all the ways.
That AI could impact.
Yeah, AI could impact our lives.
Our lives in the coming years.
In the coming years.
Imagine AI.
Imagine AI.
Assisting doctors.
Assisting doctors.
In diagnosing diseases.
In diagnosing diseases.
Earlier, personalizing education.
Personalizing education.
To cater to
individual
learning styles. Or helping us. Navigate traffic
more efficiently.
I mean,
the possibilities
seem
endless.
Those
are just a few.
Yeah, just a few
examples of the
positive
potential of AI.
But
as with any.
Yeah, as with any
powerful tool. There are also
potential downsides.
Yeah.
It's crucial that we have
to have these
thoughtful
discussions about
how to develop
and deploy
AI responsibly. And address these concerns about
job displacement,
algorithmic
bias,
and the ethical implications.
Yeah, the ethical implications of
these increasing
very
sophisticated AI systems. It's a lot to consider. It is a lot to consider. But these are conversations
we need to be having.
them.
And now, as AI
is becoming
more
integrated into our world.
Yeah,
and as we
think about
the future
of AI.
It's
important to remember
that
technology
is
ultimately a tool.
Yeah.
It's up to us as individuals and as a society to decide how we want to use that tool to shape it
in a way that
benefits humanity. This brings us to another crucial point. The importance of digital literacy.
Yeah.
As technology
becomes more
pervasive and
complex.
We need to equip ourselves
with the
skills
and knowledge
to
navigate this digital landscape effectively.
Yeah. Digital literacy
is no longer
a luxury.
Yeah.
It's a necessity.
It's about understanding how technology works.
Being able to
use
it effectively.
And
having the critical thinking skills to evaluate
information,
make informed decisions,
protect ourselves from potential harms.
Yeah.
And this is especially important.
For
the
younger generations who are
growing up
in a world
where
technology is
ubiquitous.
We
need to make sure they have the
tools
and knowledge
to be responsible and empowered digital citizens. Yeah, digital literacy should be a core component of education. Yeah.
Empowering young people
empowering them to not only consume technology
but to create with technology. To be critical thinkers. Problem solvers.
And active participants
in shaping
the
digital world.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about continuous learning, critical thinking, the impact of AI, the importance of digital literacy. These are all
essential for navigating
this
ever evolving
tech landscape. But I want to leave our listeners with one more takeaway. Don't be afraid. Set your brace.
To embrace the unknown.
The
tech world is full of surprises. It's moving at a pace.
Yeah, and it's moving at a pace that can feel
overwhelming
at times.
But instead of being intimidated,
let's approach it with
curiosity.
The
willingness to
experiment. And an understanding that failure
is often a stepping stone. Stepping stone.
to success.
To success.
Yeah. It's about
having a
growth mindset.
Growth mindset, being open to
new
possibilities. And recognizing that. Even amidst all this uncertainty. There's tremendous
opportunity for learning, for innovation.
And for innovation.
And for personal growth. Even in the face of these tech
giants.
And all these rapid advancements.
There's room for
all of us.
For all of us to
explore and contribute. Exactly.
So to our listeners, I say, dive in. Explore. Ask questions.
Don't be afraid to.
Get
your hands dirty.
The tech world is vast.
And
ever changing. But it's also full of
wonder.
Creativity. And the potential to make a real difference.
A real difference in the world.
Beautifully said.
So as we
wrap up
this part of our
deep dive. I think it's important to acknowledge
that we've only scratched the surface
of this
complex and multifaceted
topic. We've laid the groundwork.
You
said that.
They've looked at the big trends. But now it's time to zoom in
on some specifics.
Yeah. And that's precisely what we'll be doing. In the final part. Of our deep dive. We'll examine some of the most pressing challenges. And opportunities.
Facing the tech industry today. And we'll leave you with some provocative questions
to ponder
as you
continue your own exploration.
Of this fascinating world. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Stay tuned for part 3.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been exploring this fascinating intersection of technology and geopolitics and finance.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's time to really tackle some of these pressing
the big
challenges and opportunities.
Yeah, the big issues
facing the tech industry.
Yeah.
We've laid the groundwork.
We've looked
at the trends now. Let's zoom in.
It's time to zoom in. So let's start with
what's first?
The elephant in the room.
Okay.
The role of governments in regulating the tech industry.
The big question.
Yeah, it's a topic that's been generating a lot of headlines.
Everywhere you look these days. And for good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, as tech companies become...
as these tech companies become...
increasingly powerful and influential.
The question of
how to regulate them.
Yeah,
effectively
regulate them.
Is more important than ever.
It's a delicate dance.
It is. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah, we don't want to stifle innovation.
Right.
With
overly burdensome
some regulations.
Well, you also can't just
let these tech giants run wild.
With unchecked power. It's a tough needle to thread. And to make it even more complicated.
Right.
The tech industry
is
global. Fast moving
and constantly evolving.
Yeah.
And so these traditional regulatory frameworks
often struggle to
address
these unique challenges.
Yeah, they just weren't designed for this.
Yeah. It's like trying to nail jelly to a wall.
Exactly.
And that's why we're seeing so much experimentation.
And there's so much experimentation
and debate
going on.
Around the world. About how to
approach this.
Right?
Yeah.
Some governments are leaning toward...
Some are taking a more
hands-off approach.
While
others are...
implementing stricter rules.
Around
data privacy.
And trust. Content moderation.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole issue of...
And then there's the whole international cooperation issue.
Cooperation. Because these companies
operate
across borders.
Across borders.
So it's not enough.
It's not enough for individual countries.
For individual countries to act
alone.
In isolation. Yeah. We need a global solution
to address these
global challenges. But with so many.
But it's hard to get
different perspectives.
Yeah, different perspectives.
And priorities.
It's hard to...
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
It's easier said than done. To get everyone on the same page.
Yeah, to get everyone to agree.
But it's a conversation
But it's a conversation.
Absolutely need to be having.
We need to be having. Because as we've discussed...
As we've talked about...
The implications of the tech revolution.
The tech revolution.
Extend far beyond...
Far beyond national borders. What impacts one country?
It can
easily ripple out.
Ripple outward and affect...
And affect us all.
All of us.
Yeah. So regulation's a big one. What other challenges
are keeping tech leaders up at night?
Yeah, what's on their radar?
Well, another major challenge is cybersecurity. As our world becomes...
As we become
increasingly
interconnected
and reliant
on digital technologies.
Yeah. The threat of
cyber
attacks is
growing exponentially.
It seems like every time I open the news, it's another story about
a data breach. Or a ransomware attack. It's a bit unnerving. Yeah.
And keep in mind,
right,
those are just the ones
we hear about. Right.
The reality is that cyber attacks are becoming
more
sophisticated, more frequent, and more damaging. They cripple businesses.
Disrupt critical infrastructure.
And even undermine national security.
National security.
The stakes are high. Incredibly high.
Yeah. That's a sobering thought.
It is. So what can be done to address this growing threat?
Yeah, it feels like
a bit of a
losing battle sometimes.
Well, it's definitely a multifaceted challenge.
All right.
And it requires a
multi-pronged approach.
We need to invest in
our robust
cybersecurity
infrastructure. Develop stronger international partnerships
to combat
cybercrime and educate
individuals
and organizations about
best practices for protecting themselves online. We need to be
proactive, not reactive. Yeah, it's about creating a culture of cybersecurity awareness and vigilance.
Yeah.
Not just relying on
not just leaving it
IT department
to the IT department
to handle it all.
Yeah, this is something we all have to be thinking about.
Have a role to play.
Yeah.
And that leads us to
the
human side.
Of
the tech equation.
Earlier
we touched on the
we did
potential impact
of automation and AI.
And AI on the
future
of work. And I think it's worth delving a little deeper into that.
Yeah.
Especially given the
anxiety that a lot of people are feeling.
About this.
There's this fear.
There is this fear out there.
That
the robots are coming for.
Going to take everyone's jobs.
Yeah.
And while
I think that's an oversimplification.
Yeah, it's definitely an oversimplification.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah, it's a valid concern.
That needs to be addressed.
It's
definitely it's not as simple as
robots.
Robots just
replacing humans.
Replacing all the humans.
But the reality is that
automation and AI
are already
transforming
the workplace
Yeah.
And this trend
is only going
to
accelerate in
the years to come.
Years to come.
Certain tasks.
Yeah.
And even
entire job categories are
likely to become
automated.
As AI technology
continue to advance.
So how do we adapt to that?
How do we
prepare
for this shift?
In the workforce.
The key is to focus on developing the skills and knowledge.
That
will be in
high demand.
High demand in this
new
economy.
Skills like
critical thinking, creativity,
problem solving, emotional intelligence, and the ability to work effectively with technology. Those are the skills that build
machines can't replicate. At least not yet. It's about focusing on what makes us
uniquely
human. Yeah. Instead of fearing automation, we should see it as an opportunity to free ourselves
from these repetitive tasks. And focus on
more meaningful and fulfilling
work.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
positive spin on it.
More positive way to look at it.
But as AI
becomes more sophisticated, we also need to consider the ethical implications.
Yeah.
We talked about
bias
in algorithms earlier. How do we ensure
that AI is developed
and deployed
in a way
that aligns with
our
values
and serves the best interests
of humanity.
Yeah.
Right. As these
AI systems become
more
sophisticated
and autonomous.
We have to
grapple with
these
questions of
responsibility,
accountability, potential for unintended consequences. We need to make sure that AI is developed and deployed
in a way
that benefits
society
as a whole, not just
a select few. Yeah, it's about making sure
that
technology enhances
our lives.
Not
diminishes our humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about
using
these powerful tools for good, not for harm. It requires a ethical consideration.
To embed
ethical considerations into every stage of AI
development,
from design to deployment. We need to foster.
Yeah. We need to foster
a culture of
responsible innovation
in the tech industry. One that prioritizes.
Yeah, that prioritizes human well-being alongside technological advancement. All right, so we have covered a lot of ground. In this deep dive. We've explored the convergence of technology, geopolitics, and finance. The rise of AI. The challenges of regulation and cybersecurity. The impact of automation on the future of work. And the ethical considerations surrounding AI. It's been a whirlwind. But amidst all the I see tremendous opportunities as well. Yeah, me too. It's an exciting time to be alive. To witness this technological revolution unfolding. And it's up to all of us to shape it. To ensure that it leads to a better future. For everyone. Yeah. So, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with a few questions, with some ponder as they continue their own exploration of this fascinating world.
So hit us with those questions.
Okay. What role do you think governments should play in regulating the tech industry?
Okay.
How can we ensure that
AI is developed and deployed ethically and responsibly? What skills and knowledge do you think will be most valuable in the future of work?
Okay.
And finally, how can you use technology?
Use technology
to make a positive impact.
In
your own life.
In our own lives.
In the world around us.
And the world around us.
Yeah, those are
some great questions.
Big questions.
And as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Find us on social media or leave a comment on...
Yeah, you can find us...
our website.
On social media. You can leave a comment.
On our website.
On this deep dive.
Thank you for joining us.
Into the world of tech.
On this deep dive into the world of tech.
We hope you found it.
We hope you found it insightful.
And engaging.
And
remember,
the future of technology.
Is
in our hands.
Let's build a future.
We
can all be proud of.